Okay, so listen, you at the right place, the right time with the right chef. So you can be cooking with me this Christmas. And this is what your Christmas dinner is gonna look like. You see all of this deliciousness on the table? This is gonna be on your table. This is a smoked picnic ham. So what I want to do is preserve as much of the beautiful smoke flavors that's in this ham. So what that means is I am not going to boil this. Mm-mm. What you could do, you could take some, like a leek. This is kind of like an onion-ish. Fortunately, these are very clean. Put some leek inside a pot. Take a few cloves. You probably could put like maybe 1 or 2 onions in the pot. And you want to get those aromatics in there. You're going to take this beautiful ham, and with those same vegetables that we placed in the pan, there you go, like 2 cups of water. And trust me, you're not going to need more than that. And this goes into the oven. Like I said, a lot of liquid is going to come from it, and it's going to cook for like 2 hours. It should look like this. Voila! You see all of that liquid? Like I didn't put like more. It's like the 2 cups. Oh yeah. Okay, so then what I'll do with this, because I took this out, I let this roast for about 2 hours. I took it out so it could come down in temperature. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take off some of this fat from off the top of it. Or if you're one of those people who want, like, you know, all your calories, and you wanna eat that's okay. But what what I do, let's take some off the skin. Take some off. Right? And I know some people now because they're saying this on the skin. So take a little bit of this one. So that everything. And what I'll do is rest of this out on the side because this is gonna go in some rice. Yeah, this is what makes your rice, or which made your Grammy rice pot taste like so much better. I'll take this, put this in here, slide on the side. Now, notice this is still a good bit of fat that's on the top of there, right? So since the fat is still there, I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna make this a nice little diamond pattern. And I'm gonna do that by just going straight along it. Actually, maybe what you want to do, you don't want to cut, you just want to cut to like sever the fat, but not to necessarily cut the ham. So if you get any kind of tension, you just basically glide your knife across it, because the fat just cuts like butter. It's that soft, right? I'm just make a line across the other way, and if you make the second line, get that skin out of the bottom. Cut that as well. I know I could have somebody saying, "Oh yes, I just want the skin part." I want people just like to eat fat, but I don't know. But fat is flavor, so in this case, it's really gonna be a lot of flavor. So I'm gonna drain a little bit of this liquid off, because what I want to do next with this is we're gonna prepare this for the glazing. So I'll just move this on the side for a second, and then I'll set up for my glaze. But I'm gonna drain this liquid out. Like this would be pretty cool if you're gonna make like a liquid. This is like some ham stock right here, the top shelf. This is a lot of flavor. So even if you don't want to put this ham skin in the rice, you can put some of that if you want to, or you could, just not and probably live a little bit longer. But holidays is about splurging. This is right there. Man. I didn't know my own strength. So what we're gonna do now to make the glaze, pour this can of guava shells in there. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna blend this because I want this to be like a puree. So what you want is like literally pure. Now, this is 2 cups of brown sugar, tightly packed. Add some, this is Chinese 5 spice. We'll say we'll add like half a tablespoon. Let's stick with that. We'll do half a tablespoon because it's gonna give, I don't know, like if you like kingdom ribs, that's like the spice that's in there that gives it that particular flavor. There you go. So we're gonna go ahead and stir that up. And then we're also gonna add some mustard. We're gonna add some Dijon mustard. Now, mustard and honey or mustard and brown sugar is generally the two most popular flavors that go on the what you would call the Christmas ham, because you have the sweet and then you have the tart. So both of those flavors together plus the salty from the ham, they just marry and play well together. But this, we're gonna take our sweetness, a kind of fruity sweetness, similar to the pineapple, but just a whole lot sexier. And we're gonna need this tartness to balance it out. As a matter of fact, this Dijon mustard almost has like a somewhat almost spicy taste to it. So I would say we add a 1/4 cup of the Dijon mustard. And this looks beautiful, but you know what? Deep down in my heart is saying more sugar. There's brown sugar right there. So I'm gonna add another cup. So that is a cup. Because I want it a little bit thicker. All right, let's see what that tastes like. Yes! And you get the flavor from even with that little bit of 5 spice that I added, the 5 spice is spicing. It's very spicy. So, okay, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna have to drain this. Okay, so we bring our ham to the board. Now we're gonna go ahead and put our glaze on the ham. And what we'll do is we're going to, as this begins to glaze and brown and roast, we'll just add more and more and more until we get it to the delicious candy texture look that we want. Want it nice and shiny. See that? This looks yummy already. All right, so into the oven efficiently. That makes it taste better. Right. You have to shake it from up high. All right. That's me swinging the sauce from the chandelier. There you go. And now I'm gonna put this in. See how beautiful that is? It's not finished, right? That don't sound good, but okay. All right. We're gonna let that just go ahead and roast. As it's roasting and glazing, you're gonna have that nice candied ham. That's what we're going for. That's why we use so much sugar. Now, if you don't want to use as much sugar, you could cut that like in half. Or if you want a more natural alternative, you could use with your ham. Who are we kidding? But if you want, you could do a combination of honey and mustard. So honey and mustard works beautifully. Or you could just just take one for the team and go with the one that we did. Even some people, what they do is they may do the honey and mustard and then put the pineapples on it and stick the cherry in the middle of it, like how they used to do when dinosaurs roamed the earth. But what we're doing, we're just upgrading. All right. So then there's one other ham tip. Now I know some people may be curious as to why I added the liquid in the ham. Now there's liquid in the ham already, because if you saw like the amount of liquid that we got from the ham, like that's crazy. And it's a combination of some of the liquid, some of the fat. But while it's roasting and going into that same braising process, what I like to cook with is moist heat as opposed to dry heat. Generally, we call it braising. So braising is cooking with moist heat as opposed to dry heat. Dry heat extracts the moisture out. In this case, a lot of moisture is in that. But dry heat takes the moisture out, and wet heat kind of forces it back in. So you'll generally have like a more moist um, and juicy and delicious ham. Yeah. You, this is nice and beautiful. Look at that. Do you see that beautiful? All of that is just pure flavor. And look, nice and juicy, tender, soft. When I cut into this, now if I cut this now, that would be a problem because somebody's gonna get third-degree burns for sure because this is super hot, just came out of the oven. But this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what yours is supposed to look like. This is it here. You get that? And you can smell like this. The whole kitchen is perfumed with the flavors of this ham. This is really good. This looks good. This is a good, great job. I know you did it. Great job. Awesome job.